Technology on a motorcycle. As everyone knows, you don't actually need any technology on a motorcycle. As long as you have a good motor, wheels, handlebars, whatever. It's fun enough. You can ride it. It's fantastic. However, there's three technologies that I actually do like on a motorcycle, kinda, if you will. Harley has, my Softail has one of them. The Indian actually has all three, and it's only because of the Indian that I appreciate one of them. But anyways, let's get into it. So I'm not talking about safety aids on a motorcycle. Again, a lot of people don't need safety aids on them. Even me, like something like ABS. I've seen Fortnite do a video where he was able to outbrake ABS. And no, I don't think I'm as good of a rider that I'm going to outbrake ABS. But I'll link that video if I can find it down below. However, the type of riding I do, I mean, I'm a fair weather rider, so I don't know if I'll ever need the ABS. And also on the Ultra, it had an ABS, but it also had the, I forget what it's called, but if you push one brake, the other brake works. And I'm a heavy rear brake user, so I found it really weird because anytime I would go and just use my rear brake on that, it would like really bite for me. And I, especially two-up riding, I really couldn't get a hold of it. It was just weird. I prefer not to have that. Again, I forget what it's called, but both brakes work at the same time regardless of which one you use. I like having independent front brake and rear brake, but again, that's just me. So these three technologies, again, you don't need them. A lot of people will disagree with me on this, but I want to get it out there to see what everyone thinks of them. So no particular order. The first one is, again, you really don't need it, and this one here is more because my wife likes it. It's actually a radio on the motorcycle. I was one of those guys that I'm never going to have a radio on the motorcycle. I do like it sometimes when we're doing a long ride, but I do find now when I take the Indian out by myself, I don't put the radio on. If I do put the radio or Spotify or whatever, I forget that it's even on. And actually, when I was out thinking about this video, that's usually when I get my ideas, is when I'm out riding by myself. But when I was out riding, thinking of this video, I was trying to come up with, I had to come up with three. And I was like, oh, radio. Oh, wait, I have a radio on this. I could be listening to it right now. I still didn't turn it on, but I like just riding in the wind. Yeah, I do appreciate it. It is nice to have. But again, you don't obviously need it on your motorcycle. The second one actually is something that it's more out of convenience why I like it. And again, it was on the Indian, and I didn't really ever, I would never have even thought about this one other than the fact that it was on the Indian and it was a nice to have. And that's actually the air pressure monitoring system. And I'll explain why I kind of like it. Again, the Harley doesn't have it, and it's fine and whatever. But having it on the Indian is really nice, and the reason is convenience. See, on the Softail, I have the bags that have to come off, and actually, one's over there, part of another video that I'm working on. Hope to have it out in a week or so. But anyways, so to get the tire pressure, front tire is pretty easy. Rear wheel, taking off the bags is nothing. It's just a whoop whoop and one little thing, and it comes off very easy. It's very easy to put it on as long as you remember to actually lock it down. That's why I'm fixing it over here. But anyways, but also once you get it off, it's still hard to get a monitoring or a gauge in there to actually measure it, regardless of whether it's on the side of the belt or on this side that has the brake caliper. It's extremely hard to get something in there. I have, I think I'm up to 4 different ones, and each one is hard, even with the long, windy tube. It's a pain in the ass, so I don't check the tires as often as I probably should because it is a pain in the ass. Because if I'm going out, I come out, I have to check it. Next thing you know, my hands are all black. I got to go wash my hands. It's a whole process. So I'm one of those lazy guys that, electricity, path of least resistance. So I just jump on it and go, and hopefully it's fine. But don't do as I say, not as I do. So I don't check it as often as I would. And then to go on the Indian is even more of a rigmarole. These are actually pretty easy to take off as well. I wonder if these are locked. Yeah, they're locked. I don't have the key on me, so I can't show you. But they're quick disconnect. They come off relatively easy. But the same thing, to snake something in to actually get to the valve is a pain in the ass. Again, front wheel is very easy. The rear wheel is a pain in the ass. So I do appreciate the tire monitoring pressure system on the bike. Again, you don't need it, but it is kind of nice to have. I don't 100% trust it yet because it's still new to me. So I do check them more often than I probably will once I'm satisfied that the thing's working correctly. But yeah, that would be number 2, tire monitoring system. And the last one that I really enjoy having actually is, again, this will be on the Softail and the Indian, and that's cruise control. And anyone that tours understands what I mean, how it's nice to have the cruise control. You see a lot of people do those aftermarket things for the throttle, but cruise control is fantastic. And I don't do those long haul, and again, you don't need them, and I never think to actually put it on when I'm actually on the highway and I'm doing a 2-hour ride. A lot of times I forget that I have cruise control, so again, you don't need it. But what I actually use it for is when you're going through school zones, and I just put it down to 40, set to the cruise control, and this way I know I'm not going to get stopped. I'm well within. I might do 45 sometimes. But that's where I actually like the cruise control is I know I'm not going to do any hooligan shit. So I can just ride normally with the bike, doing 40, 45 in a school zone. I'm not going to get stopped and be pulled over or anything. But anyways, those are the 3 technologies that I like. Again, you don't need them on a bike, but those are the ones I like. The radio, again, don't use it very often, but it is nice to have it when you're doing a long trip. The tire monitoring pressure system, just because of how difficult the rear wheel is to do it. And the third is the cruise control. But what do you guys think? What are some of the technologies you actually like to have on a bike? Anyways, until next time, later.